Alright, I know I just made a video about a science character, Spider-Punk, but yeah, I am not gonna hide this any longer. Red Guardian is absolutely broken. Just like straight up top tier. Like not even lying to you, right? He is just actually that good. And it's honestly wild how like this character is just so not talked about. And it's not like he's just above average and you know he's just gonna get overshadowed. He is doing fight times that rival the top science characters as a 6-star champion, by the way. So yeah, he is doing stuff as a 6-star champion while other science characters are ranked 3 7-stars, but he's still contending with them, and this is why. That damage output right there, that's why he's contending with them, because it is insane. 44 seconds for a rank 5 ascended onslaught. That's wild stuff, right? And here we have a rank 2 Maestro. You know Maestro, one of the hardest offenders in the game. Without like a mystic character or Titania, you're kind of just screwed. But guess what? Red Guardian takes Maestro pretty dang well. Now this one is a bit more crit reliant, and of course it's like the big debate of what happens when Red Guardian doesn't crit. Well, here's the thing, that's usually not gonna happen, right? Because he has plus 3,000 something crit rate on his SP2. It is more than likely that you will get that crit, right? If you test like I guess 20 fights or so, I feel like 16 out of 20 of them you're gonna get the crit, and that's why I feel like he is honestly still reliable despite being pretty crit reliant, right? Of course he still does pretty good without the crit, it's just like a bit of a time difference, but when you do get the crit, you do a 50-second Maestro fight. How crazy is that? That's like actually insane. You know, science characters aren't meant to take Maestro, and doing it in 50 seconds, which is faster than some mystic characters, it is just unreal, right? Foil bar as well, simple as that. That is something that most science characters, most mystic characters cannot do. So that's why this champion is honestly pretty insane, right? Because his damage output is literally top tier. It is simply top tier. So here I'm going to go in, drop the SP2, get that nice crit, and yeah, this matchup is over just like that. And that was a 36-second rank 3 Ebony Maw fight. Sure, man. You know, it's just like, sure. Here we have this rank 2 Terrax, and this is just showing the fact that he can like take, you know, just random stuff. He is a general DPS. He's not just for mystic characters. Like I said, you know, taking Maestro and all that. He is not meant for just mystic champions. He can take cosmic champions. He can take, you know, even some skill champions. You'll see that in a bit here, that I take a Nick Fury with him in 60 seconds. So it's like, okay, what can't this guy do? And the answer is very few things. Like, there are very few things that like actually stop Red Guardian. One thing is Purify, obviously, right? Like, for example, Kingpin or something. But for the most part, it's really hard to stop Red Guardian, and that's why he is honestly such a top tier science character. If you ask me, and this might be a crazy hot take, but as it stands right now, I think Red Guardian is tied for like the best 6-star locked science character, right there with Scorpion, right? And Scorpion over time is losing value in Battlegrounds. He is not comparing to the times of Red Guardian, and that is just a fact, right? But Red Guardian isn't probably as versatile as Scorpion, so that's why I feel like they are tied right now. But yeah, damage wise, pretty much like very few champions actually beat Red Guardian when it comes to damage, and that's why he is just like one of the best science characters in the game. Probably top 6, top 10 guaranteed, right? But I don't know, you have like Titania, Silk, Photon, Hulk, and then like those are the big 4 science characters. But then when it comes to like 6-star science characters, you have Human Torch, who of course is very strong, but Red Guardian is safer and more versatile. You have Scorpion, who is more versatile but does less damage overall, I feel like. So it's like, okay, you have like this race between these 3 science characters, and it's crazy how Red Guardian isn't being talked about when he's just straight up in that race for like the top science 6-star, which is, you know, just crazy stuff. But yeah, this Red Guardian fight, Nick Fury, Ascended Nick Fury by the way, and you're gonna see that the fight goes pretty well besides that one mistake right there. I let the SP1 hit me while I didn't have my shield active, which was, you know, a mistake on my end. But yeah, here I dropped the SP2, the shield's back up, and it just one-shots him. So there we go. 60-second Nick Fury fight. Titania did win because I took that SP1 to like the block, but I still rivaled a Titania, a rank 3 Titania by the way, and I had Nick Fury as my fight. He had Photon, which is a much easier fight for Titania. That is actually insane. Like, that is honestly just a bit unreal. And yeah, here we have this rank 3 Wong, and you know, he has physical resistance, so like, it could be a problem. Let's just see if it is so, right? Let's see if it ends up being a problem for us. There he dropped the heavy attack, no big deal. And here he drops the SP1, also no big deal. I go back in, drop the SP2, and nah, it's not a problem. We're chilling. And here I go in, he drops the SP1 again, that's fine. The timer is gone for this fight for some reason, which is kind of weird, but it's whatever. And yeah, we drop the SP1, get a nice crit right there, and that just does it. And that was about, what, 40 something seconds? Not bad in the slightest. But now we have this very odd fight. We have this Mephisto here, and this Mephisto is, you know, a good showing of one, just how broken the science class is, because if you stop Mephisto just by doing damage, that's kind of crazy, right? But yeah, Red Guardian here, he counters Mephisto by just knocking him back and doing good damage while doing that. So like, his heavy attacks crit for 20,000, which is, you know, pretty nuts, just like at base. No ramp up, no anything, just 20,000 heavy attacks. And yeah, once we get to the SP2, it'll just one-shot him, and that's as simple as that, right? It's a slow fight, but it's a safe fight, and that's just Red Guardian, right? He's a very safe champion. That's like the one thing he has over most science characters, I feel like, if not just like the broken damage output. But yeah, the SP2, it kind of like, we kind of timed it wrong, but it's okay, it's like fine. And here he drops the SP1, no big deal, and this just does it. That was a full yellow bar, 50 something second Mephisto fight, and hey, we beat Titania there, so hey, I'll take it, man. That's not bad in the slightest. But now we have this Bishop fight, and this is like a good showing. Actually, no, it's not, because I could have played it better, but I didn't crit here, right? But the thing is, when Red Guardian doesn't crit, he still does better fight times than like most characters, which is kind of wild, right? But yeah, I didn't crit here. I played it wrong though. I didn't recover properly from like not critting, if that makes sense. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, here Bishop is gonna drop the SP2. No big deal, just get the dex, go back in, and we're kind of just chilling right now. Get the perfect block. No, that wasn't perfect. Was it? I don't know. But yeah, no crit here. It's okay. I did a heavy attack, no crit there as well. And I could have just done it again, which I do, so that gives me a massive damage bump right there. Here I should have not done this though. I should have just kept on doing heavy attacks, because the heavy attacks have the increased crit rate. So yeah, there I kind of messed up by like doing the full combo. Here I dropped the SP1 down to 1%, and there's the fight done. So yeah, that was still like 55 seconds, which isn't bad at all for like a rank 2 Bishop. Could have been done better, of course. And like I said, all the times I play Red Guardian, the 3,000 plus crit rate that you get from the SP2, which by the way, if you go for the SP1 first, can be up to 4,500, it almost always guarantees a crit of sorts, right? So that's why I feel like, despite wanting the crit, he is still like very, very reliable. So yeah, this guy's a beast. One of my favorite champions right now, one of like the better ascensions to do in my opinion, because he is probably going to be 7-star locked for a while. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Red Guardian, and yeah, that's about it for me.